most interesting story of the week is that little quote we just saw about Mayor Daley never, ever being told by Gary Chico that school reform has lost some of its momentum.
Well, and perhaps in the end, Gary Chico may benefit from this. Could this be that he dared to criticize the mayor and yet at a time when folks are saying, well, you know, what is going on with the schools? Are they where they should be? Chico quickly had his own news conference after the mayor to say, oh, wait a minute, I wasn't trying to criticize the mayor. Can anyone say anything about what's going on? Can anyone say, hey, we need to have a better school system? Perhaps in the end, this might benefit Chico.
Do you think it'll benefit Chico,
yes.
Mike Flannery, and how so? And doesn't he have the right to say something, having been a former member of the school board?
He said this at Kelly High School at California in Archer, where he unveiled on Tuesday his actually a very thoughtful, detailed, perhaps unrealistic in its estimations of financing and funding, but nonetheless, and for policy wonks, a very exciting program that he outlined for his plan for the schools. But and at the time, as he leveled criticism at the way things are now, he was pressed by reporters, well, wait a minute, are you saying Paul Vallis? Are you saying Arnie Duncan? Are you saying Rich Daley? He says, I'm not going to name names. But of course, the fact that all those people and Gary Chico worked on the schools, and the schools are not where anybody wants them to be now, is self-evident.
And let's talk about his plan for a moment. He says he wants everybody to have a computer. He wants to extend the school day by 2 hours.
And he wants to extend the school year by 5 weeks. It's scandalous that that school year is about, I think, 7 weeks shorter than the school year in New York City. I mean, you know, the mayor has talked for 22 years about doing this, Joel, and every time we've come to the crunch in the teachers' union negotiations, Rich Daley caved on this one, and Chico's saying, I'm not going to cave if I'm mayor.
Gail Marks Jarvis, would you have your vote influenced by somebody's view on education in the mayor's race? Would that be the pivotal thing for you?
Well, education is going to be one of the most critical issues here and everywhere else. When we listen to the problems in the economy right now, what we have is we have the haves and we have the have-nots, but a lot of the have-nots are just undereducated. And so the focus has to be on education going forward.
Do you see this as being the main issue in the mayor's race?
Certainly. Besides jobs, of course, the Chicago public school system.
And crime, probably.
And crime. But keeping young families living in the city and having a viable option for them to go to school. But I have to differ a little bit with Mike on the plan. I thought his plan was very unrealistic. I mean, it had some great ideas, of course. You know, everyone should have a laptop and all those. But that's not going to happen. It's going to cost, of course, another campaign that will remain nameless, Rahm Emanuel, came up with, it's going to cost $1.6 billion for Chico's plan. Where's that going to come from?
Now, Megan Maliki, Rahm Emanuel's education plan, and I'm only giving one part of it, but I think the cornerstone is that he wants to have report cards for parents. Is that a good idea? And is that something that would attract you?
For parents.
Yeah, for parents.
Boy,
well, he wants to have school report cards. He wants parents to know how the school, how their kids' schools are performing vis-a-vis the whole system and the whole state.
Well, sure, I think it's a great idea, but can you actually follow that through? I don't know. I mean, as a parent, I would think everybody would love to know that.
And actually, we already get they already get report cards. He says he wants to improve them. Now, that'll cost about $1.50. Right. That's not the kind of big idea that Chico was talking about.
How does that improve education?
It's ridiculous. Chico's talking about the real stuff. He's talking about the nitty-gritty. Look, time on task is the key. Every study shows kids who spend longer in class, kids who do their homework, learn more.
Than a piece of paper and a report card coming home. That's going to be more effective.
At this point in the campaign, it does seem like Chico and Rahm Emanuel have kind of forged the center in terms of attracting attention.
They clearly are the two campaigns that are most organized as far as with the media. They are very much engaged with us, providing opportunities to speak to the candidates much more often than the others.
Okay.